Morning, guys. Rick Shaw here on the 23rd of June 2022. We've got an absolutely magnificent day again. Sun feels great and we're just hiking around. We're really happy we got water, enough pressure upstairs, and that's about time. I hope it stays this way. Time will tell. But I wanted to thank Tropical Tim and Ray. They sent the kids a care package. My little chocoholics. They got they got a bunch of Swiss Miss with marshmallows. They're all excited about that. But we're gonna. There's our nice new little puppy. Hi, baby. Oh, nice little brown Doberman. But we went ahead and we bought. Finally pulled the trigger and bought a generator. I was looking at them for quite some time, trying to get a good one, and I got a buddy in the States that was a 20-year Navy man, generator guy on the ship. Got out, went back to school, learned even more than what he knew there, and he was a generator guy. So I was showing him different ones that I was looking at, and the one he said, this is the one you should get. It's a good price. It's got everything you need. And so that's good. We don't need a super big one. I know a lot of people always oversize their generators. I've seen it time and time again, and for what we need. And it's not too big that I can't carry it around. So that'll be good. We also got, since we're going to be doing our Minduro trips and stuff like that, I bought a rack for the roof. I didn't think it was too expensive. I don't know what my wife's going to say about that, but it was specifically for the Mobilio. I hate to get the ones that are, they're like a universal, because you're always making a compromise somewhere. This one, the company designed it specifically for the Mobilio, and hopefully it works out well. I looked at the weight on it. It wasn't the heaviest or the lightest. I don't like to see the real light ones because they collapse. It's not like we're going to be putting a ton of weight on it or anything like that, but to get some of the stuff out of the car, so that when we travel, we're getting ready for our trip down there. Dorothy's off of school going to be off for 3 weeks, so we'll be able to shoot down there. We have this fellow Jason down there. He went ahead and burned a lot of the brush off the ground for us, and we have a right-of-way there. Now on the other side of the right-of-way, those folks want to sell us some ground. We're going to go look at it. I told my wife I don't want to be ground broke, and then not have enough to get the house started. So we'll look at it and see about it, and try to get her fixed up. That's all looking good. I'm going to start, as time goes by, getting stuff to set up for the house down there. We want to get the septic in. That's my main thing this trip. Also, I'm going to go down and buy make the deal on the Tricycle body. I even got Tricycle tires, good 8-ply ones. I believe it's called Bulldog. They got the real flat Tricycle tires, heavy duty. I've seen guys use them on their cargo stuff, and they hold up very well. And I got some heavy duty German tubes for it, so that'll help things out. But the one fellow that I want to get the same tricycle as him. We're going to go to the same builder. The only thing I didn't like about his had an alloy wheel on it. And I would like to get a spoked wheel, and I want the same size as the bike, so that if I have a problem, I'll have a spare there, spare tire right on the Tricycle, and I'll put my tools in there, and that way if we have a flat somewhere, if I have to, I could change it out. And but those tires, usually you got to hit something pretty big to flatten them tires. They got tread a mile deep on them. So, but we're getting things ready. This is the start of it. Right now, with the amount of ground we have, for me, that's okay. But I checked everything on the car. I did just check the tires again. Oil's all good. everything's full. I got to get some wishy-washy yet. I got the new wipers on. I see up in Manila they're having huge rainstorms. We're getting mist. But yesterday also I did the bike. I got the chain all done up. Oiled everything up again. Gave it just a light cleaning, and so it'll be ready to go. If we do make a good deal on the tricycle, I'll probably just ride it down there, get the tricycle put on, and then we'll just go to the LTO down there, and then I'll drive it back here for now instead of just leaving it there, because we'll use it here too, while we're doing things. But things are looking good. I hope the water stays going. I want to get where I have my entrance. I had them put a box back of the house so that I can put a double pole, double throw, like a NEMA box in there, so that when I go ahead and hook up the generator, I'll put a plug right on it, so I could just plug the thing right in, plug and play. Fire the generator up. I didn't get electric start or anything, just a pull start. It was $3,000 more for the electric start, and I just thought more headaches. It's not that, it's not anything major. Our power goes out usually for a day, but if we have a longer one, at least we'll be prepared for it. And the only thing I got extra on it was the wheel kit. It didn't come with one. I guess that was why the price, but the wheel kit was pretty cheap. It was under $20. And so we'll get a wheel, got the wheel kit coming with it too, so I could roll it around. It's got a handle, and it's not that heavy, but I don't need to be picking up a generator when I can wheel it. So we get that taken care of. Today we're going to go out and get some stuff for the trip. We've got a little shopping to do. But my daughter and I were out. We went up to the bank this morning and drove around town. Almost no traffic today. I couldn't believe it. We rolled into town like nothing. Even at the intersections, there was hardly any traffic. I don't know what's going on. But we rolled up there, and there were a lot of. It was amazing though, how many ATMs were out of service. Nothing going on with the ATMs. I had to drive around to find one. So that's not good. And the other thing was 2 gas stations. They were open. People were standing there, and when I pulled up, no fuel. So there was no, I had to go back in towards town to get gas. So, and I hate to use the Shell here because we got bad gas from them before, but it was the only one that had gas that was close by. So who knows what's going to happen with this, but the bike, it wound up costing me. It was empty because I took my big trip on it here not too long ago. So it was down there, and it took 700 pesos to fill it. And I didn't even neck it or anything. I just filled it to the bottom of that little filler thing. I don't like to go too full on it. But that was a lot when I first got it. When it was pretty much empty, it went on to reserve, and it was only $3.50 to fill it. So gas for us is doubled. But this thing gets fantastic mileage. So we're pretty happy. Once we get the tricycle on it, there's going to be our nice cargo hauler. I'm even thinking I'll do my grocery shopping and everything in it. I'm not liking to drive the car around. Just too much crap on it. But I don't know what it's going to entail to get the registration on it for the tricycle. I know when we went down, I told them, look, we're going to be putting the tricycle on in the next couple of weeks, and they said, no, you got to get this registration because you don't want to be caught riding them. You can't take them on and off, with the tricycles. In the States, you put a tricycle on, you just put one on and go. But here, it's a whole different ball game. They're a little bit more restrictive on your, if you have a license for a tricycle and you get caught driving it without the tricycle on the side, they nail you for it. So, that's just how they do things here. But we'll see. It's probably not going to be very much at all. This bike, I bought it in June, but because of the plate, it was up in March, so we had to pay a small fine. It wasn't too much, 120 pesos, I think, or something like that. It was real cheap. But we didn't know. I got it on my phone now and on the calendar for when I have to do it next year, what week in March I got to go up and get her done. That might change. I don't know. I'll find out and I'll let you guys know what the scoop is, if that changes or not. But I'm hoping to get the Tricycle on quickly because I want to ride it around for a while in case if there's anything wrong with it. I know my last one, when I bought my last Tricycle, man, we could hardly even drive home. It wasn't steering right. I made it home though, and it was late when we picked it up, and things happened. Welds broke, just stupid stuff happened. The weld over the canopy over the top of me just broke. I had to tie it up with a belt just to get home, and then I had to line it. I had to line it up, tow the Tricycle tire in so that it would track straight, and we got that settled. But we had to go back, and the guy had to take the 1/2-inch EMT that was holding my canopy on top and change it to 3/4 because it just wasn't holding it. It broke. He welded it again. It broke again. So there's things you have to do when you get a Tricycle. And I want to get it started real quick here because I know when we get down to Mindoro we're going to need something to haul, and I'm not hauling block in the car. You can forget it. You're not going to do it. 1,000 boy too late. Not going to do it. But that's just how it's going to go. But that's what's going on with us right now. I tell you what, if you're expat coming here to the Philippines, don't overlook a Tricycle. I know a lot of people are buying those little cars. There's that Bud Brown guy who bought one, had a lot of problems with it, wound up, I believe he's getting rid of it or has gotten rid of it already. They're just not the ticket. We had the Piaggio with a diesel, and to be honest with you, it was pretty much trouble-free. Great vehicle for hauling, for doing whatever we wanted. It was cheap to run. I mean, that dang thing just sipped fuel. I remember I drove it all the way from Greenfield, I believe it was, all the way home, and then I drove it around, and I was driving it to work, and I thought, oh boy, I'm probably getting low on gas, and I went to fill it up, and it took 100 and some pesos for all that driving. Just incredibly cheap, but my problem was getting parts and service. There was a few things. There was a little thing that pushed the clutch in. It's like a little copper nub that wore. So it's easy to fix. I mean, those things are the easiest things to work on. So they wouldn't send it to me. I had to go get it. I had to go get the dang thing. And then a cable, one of the cables. I was greasing my cables and doing all that, but the clutch cable gave out. And then there was the gear shifter cable. It's a double one, and it comes in the top and it goes around this half moon thing, and that went. It was just a real thin cable. And then when I got the new cables for it, they were much heavier. They weren't the same, but that was a job. That took a little while. And then the other thing, the bearing, the wheel bearing went on it. And that was all. That one, it was cool because the guy who worked there lived not too far from us and was able to bring it. He was able to bring it out. Another not too hard of a job. And him and his buddy, they wanted to do it for like almost nothing. Yeah, go ahead. They do that. I didn't want to screw anything up, so I just sat and watched them, gave them a jack, gave them tools and stuff. And they got her on there pretty quick. But that was the problem with that machine. I was, if it breaks down, you're stuck. You're at the mercy of Piaggio. And from what I understand, there's nothing in Mindoro for them. Parts or service or anything like that. We got to get it all from the main one. We used to have one in Dos Marinas, and that closed. Just even getting an oil filter turned in to be a pain in the butt. And I'm a freak when it comes to keeping the oil clean. On that thing, when they do get a lot of soot in the oil and everything, and I use the diesel oil, but I was changing that on a regular basis. Now the guy who bought it from me, he loves it. He's close to the dealership, but the reason why I got rid of it, not because of any major problems with it. Everything is so easy to work on that buggy, just unbelievably easy. It was because I was thinking I'll be down for parts. If I break it down somewhere, I got to get it pulled back, and it'll sit until I either go get the parts or con these people into sending them to me. So that's why I got out of that. Now, when it comes to a tricycle, anybody and his brother can get you fixed up and running. You know, they got motorcycle shops all over for the bike. They got tire fixing shops all over. Anything happens, there's always somebody there with a welder in case if something goes wrong with the trike. So that's the ticket. I think if you come here, get yourself a trike. They're a blast to drive. I mean, I'm a motorcycle head. I love to drive the bikes, and that's just my bag. Now, when I get the tricycle on this one here, I'm going to get another bike. I've been looking at a lot of them and thinking, and I don't want to spend that much money. And the CRF 150L is probably the way I'm going to go. They have the Yamaha, but it's water cooled, and I don't need no stinking race bike. I just need something that I can float down the road without too much trouble on my back. I'll more than likely have to change the spring on the rear shock immediately if I can't do it at the dealership soon afterwards, because I've sat on them and I'm down through the suspension already just with me on it. And if I put my wife on the back, we'll be riding at the bottom of the shock. So I gotta get a good spring on there right off the bat. And I want plush. A lot of people, oh well, you know, you can get this shock and that. I'm not going to be doing jumps or flying around. It's going to be, I just want something like I'm riding on the cloud. I got a back is pretty screwy, a lot of trouble with it, and I just need something that's going to float. This little bike on my trip, I hit 2 bumps on it, and I'll tell you what, it shocked the living heck out of me. Leg went numb, had to pull over and sit for a little bit and walk it off. So, but that is this thing is a comfortable bike. I had a guy talking to me back and forth on the Messenger, one of my subscribers, and he was looking at the little Honda 125, and he's a big guy. I think he said he was 6'3", 240 pounds, something like that. And I said, it's going to be way too small for you. I had a neighbor that had one, and when I sat on it, it feels like such a toy. Where this one's actually, it's big enough. I mean, it's not, I don't fit on pretty much any bike. I don't care which one I get. I look stupid on them because I'm so big. But it's working great. It's super comfortable. It's got a great seat on it. There's not really much I want to change. I did want the handlebars back, which I did. That was a little bit of a chore, but this is how I did it. I got it back. My knee's clear. I moved these up so they're out of the way. I got it up and back so that I'm not leaning forward. I wasn't liking that. I have to sit way up on just on the tank when my wife's on it so she can get her butt over the axle because it gets kind of squirrely. But once we get the tricycle on it, all those problems are going to go. I do want to get some heavier springs for the front. I'm not going to get them yet. I'm going to put the tricycle on it and see what happens, because I bottom that front end out even if I'm going slow. It's just the springs just aren't there for it, and it hits the bottom end. So that's got to be, that I have to take care of. The back is more than heavy enough. It'll jar you. You have to really be careful of that. So, but that's where we're at with all this kind of stuff, and we want to get down to Manduro, and this will be our vacation home. What a vacation in Lipa. But we're gonna keep this one and keep it all set up ready to go when we set up the house down in Manduro. We're gonna new fridge, new stove. We'll start out with the basics with our little 2-burner stove we already have. Get an extra propane bottle or 2, and that's just how we're gonna do it. We're gonna get it all fixed up and that's where we're at, and I think we're going to spend some time down there. I don't hear anything about power outages. I ask my wife every time she's talking to him down there. There hasn't been any power outages there. Plenty of water, and I just want to be able to get a shower. I'm going to put a shower room in there with Insta-Hot so I can take a hot shower and put it up high so it's not in my face like this one, even though I asked them to put it up higher. You don't get what you ask for. It would have been no more in price. That's probably why they just didn't do it. But a lot of stuff. Like when we do our service, I never got my ground wire. I never got my neutral. Nothing. So when I go to do my new house, it's going to be set up, because I'm going to do it. I'm going to set it up. I'll buy all the stuff I need, and I'll have that done. And I'm going to put it in a nice enclosure. I'm going to bring it in underground. I don't want any wires overhead like these ones. I'll bring it underground and put it in a good locked compartment. Just so you can look in and see the meter, so they can read it or do whatever they got to do. I'll have that covered over. That way, no one can cut your power on you. We're going to put nice steel doors on it. It's going to be a bunker, guys. That's my whole plan. I'm not worried about the Kubo house right now. At first, we'll make that. We'll put the bunker up, and we'll go from there. I don't know what's going to go on with this other land that's for sale there. I know Wes was talking about that they might want to get a piece too, and be a good spot. There's electricity and water. That's important when you come here. Make sure you got that. I've talked to a bunch of expats that are here that their power goes out all the time. They don't have water all the time. Knock it off. Don't do that to the door. But our first house, when we bought it, the water only came on for a couple hours a day, but we knew that. We knew that going in, and I said, okay, it's like camping. I'll go for that. Tabo baths and all that, no hot water. But I knew it, and it was cheap. That place was like $8,000, for a nice little 2-bedroom house. But I didn't fix that one up. I know my wife wanted it fixed up, and it was built to have a second floor on, but nope, I am not living the rest of my life in this neighborhood. So we bought this place, big beautiful house like this, and what do we get? So really look into where you're going to buy and what you're going to get. Talk to neighbors who live there. The main thing that happened to us was the pandemic, and now they're talking about another one coming up. Old Bite Hole got on there and said there will be another one. They're planning it, guys. You look at all the food shortages that are going on. This is all planned. Water, Lake Mead is emptying. Why is that? What are they doing with all that water? That's gonna affect a huge part of the country, and they want all the green stuff. Well, where does the green, battery, if you look at it, a battery is nothing but a holding device. You have to charge it. Where are they getting that power from? So I don't think the green is what they think it is. And now you look at Germany. What are they doing? They're having a problem with power, so they're firing up all their old coal plants. Okay. That's really green, I'll tell you what. So that's just the way it's going to go. They're telling people now, I've seen this in the States, where they're saying, don't, in the heat of the day, don't turn your air conditioners on, because of the, power. And then I sit back and think, okay, if that's the case, what are they going to do? They're not going to be able to drive either, because they can't charge their car, and I don't think solar's there yet. I don't think this hydrogen stuff is there yet. There's so much stuff it's just not there yet. And they're going to push it to cram it down everyone's throat when everybody's broke now. My buddy in the States got a big truck. He's doing his work out of his car. He's got a little tiny car because his vans are just costing him so much. And when he raised his prices, the work dried up. Yeah. They're advertising 2018 prices just to keep the work going. But it's a shame what's going on in the States now, and I'm seeing a lot of people are resorting to stealing. There's a couple sites that you look at where people are going in the store and just smashing and grabbing. And in places like California, if it's under $1,000, the store owner can't do a dang thing about it. These people just come in. Not only do they steal a bunch of stuff, but they trash stuff. And I noticed a real funny thing too. When they were stealing in these stores, they weren't stealing food. They were stealing alcohol. Like in the little 7, they were stealing the alcohol and stuff. and other places they'd go in. It was jewelry stores. These are the places they're robbing. So it's, you know, it's just a shame how people are going after money more than anything else. Can't eat money, guys. Oh, you got your nice little purse. It matches too. Matches your, yeah, that's my beautiful little fashion queen. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Don't want to run on too long. We got a lot of stuff to do today. We're preparing for our trip, and we're looking forward to it. We always love it when we go down to Mindoro. And just because the people, the place, it's more country, that's my bag, guys. I just like it out in the country than I do in the city. But I just wish this place would have worked out a little bit better than it has. Who knows? Maybe they'll have the water all fixed up, and 5 years from now the place will be worth more than double. It's what seems to happen in a lot of places. And maybe somebody will want in here. We might let it go then. Who knows? But as of now, no, we're going to keep it. So this is Rickshaw out.